A very good morning to all my dear students. Students, in the previous tutorial, we have studied about the Marathas war. The first Maratha war, the second Anglo-Maratha war, and now today we will study about the third Anglo-Maratha war. The Third Anglo-Maratha War was the final and the decisive battle between the British East India Company and the Maratha Empire in India. And after this war, the Britishers, they were able to control most of India. So now we will study about the Third Anglo-Maratha War. So let's read the chapter. The Third Anglo-Maratha War, which was fought in the year 1817 to 1880. The Third Anglo-Maratha War was fought in this year during the period of Governor General Marcus Hastings. So who was the Governor General at that time period in India? It was Marcus Hastings. All the Maratha chiefs regretted the loss of their power and prestige after the second Anglo-Maratha War. So after the second Anglo-Maratha War, the Maratha chiefs, their power and prestige were lost. Peshwa Bajirao II also realized his mistake because this Peshwa Bajirao was also defeated with the Britishers. Then he realized this mistake and signed the Treaty of Besant with the Britishers. He wanted to free himself from the yoke of the British. Means he wanted, yoke here means that he wanted to free himself from the clutches of the Britishers. He started to organize the other Maratha chiefs to wage a war against the British. Governor General Hastings was alarmed. So, how he wanted to free from the Britishers, he started organizing the Maratha chiefs to declare a war against the Britishers. But the Governor General at that time, Hastings, he became aware about this war. He forced Peshwa Bajirao II to sign another treaty at Pune in 1817. According to it, the Peshwa gave up the leadership of the Maratha chiefs. He surrendered Konkan to the British. So, Peshwa Bajirao was forced by the Britishers to sign treaty. And in this treaty, Peshwa Bajirao had to leave the leadership of Maratha chiefs. Means he had to leave the leadership of Peshwa. Yeah. And he has given Konkan to the Britishers also. Hastings also forced the Sindhi of Gwalior, and not only the Britishers, they forced Peshwa Bajirao to sign the treaty, but they also forced other Maratha chiefs like Sindhi of Gwalior to sign a treaty with them. The latter agreed to stop help to the Pindaris who were fighting a war against the British. Bhosle of Nagpur had also signed such a treaty, but attempted to regain his independence. He declared a war against the British. So everyone wanted to get free from the Britishers. They restored themselves, they started wars, but they were defeated. He attacked the British residency at Kirki. Kirki is a place in Pune, Maharashtra. So he also declared a war, but at the British residency. British residency means the residence. The British residents appointed by the officers or by the company. So here Britishers were living. So British residency. So this war is known as the Third Maratha War. So the war which was started by Bhosle of Nagpur, that is called the Third Maratha War. Holkar and Bhosle were also defeated by the British later. But these Marathas, they were not able to sustain themselves from the Britishers, and they were defeated by them. The British annexed all the Peshwa's territory by deposing them. Whatever the territories, whatever the states they occupied by the Peshwas, they were taken by the Britishers. Deposing means that they were removed, the ruler or any leader whose territory is having. The Britishers, they removed those leaders and rulers from there, and they annexed those territories. He was deported to Bithur near Kanpur. Means deported means to force somebody that you have to go move away from here. So he was deported to a small state called the state of Satara was carved out of the territories of the Peshwa. So Satara was actually a city and it was a capital of Maratha Empire. A descendant of Shivaji was made its ruler. Descendant means a person who belongs from the same family. Yes, so this Shivaji was made the new ruler of Satara. Bhosle had to surrender his territory situated in the north of the Narmada. All the Maratha chiefs signed subsidiary alliances with the officials of the company. So all the Maratha chiefs, they were defeated by the Britishers. Yes, and they have to sign the subsidiary alliance with the Britishers. What is this subsidiary alliance? It was a policy which was introduced by Lord Wellesley. Yes, subsidiary alliance. And according to this, an Indian ruler, they were forced by the Britishers to keep the British forces in their territory, and also they have to pay for their maintenance also. Means there was a permanent stationing of the British forces in the territory of any Indian ruler, and they have to pay also for their maintenance. They were forced. So many Maratha chiefs, they signed the subsidiary alliance. Now after signing this subsidiary alliance, the Marathas was shattered forever. Means the Marathas' power was destroyed. Gradually the British became the supreme power in India. Now we will study what are the reasons for the defeat of the Marathas. First, the Maratha chiefs were selfish and did not believe on each other. As you know that the Britishers, they took the advantage of this situation because there was mutual conflict and jealousies between the Marathas. So this was the major defeat of the Marathas. The British defeated them easily due to their rivalries. Second, by 1800, efficient Maratha leaders like Mahadaji Scindia and Nana Fadnavis had died. These were more powerful and efficient rulers. They tried to unite the Marathas, yes, but after their death, the power of the Marathas declined. The Marathas did not do any work of public welfare. Fourth, the Marathas did not have an efficient system of administration. They preferred money as much as possible. So they lacked the efficient system. Means no efficient system was there and they were defeated. Fifth, the Marathas adopted guerrilla tactics of warfare which were suitable only for hilly regions. These tactics could not be used in the plains of the north. So guerrilla tactics here means the style of fighting. Yes, and guerrilla it is a Spanish word which means little war. So these guerrilla tactics were actually the tactics, the style of fighting, but it was limited only, not for fighting big armies. Yes, not for fighting against the big armies. It was a kind of a little war only. Small tactics which used to fight the little wars. 6. The military organization of the Marathas was very weak. They had recruited soldiers belonging to different races. It ended national spirit in the Maratha army. So the military organization of the Marathas was weak. The reason is that whatever the soldiers they find, they belong to different races, and due to this there was no national spirit in the Maratha army because they belong to different races. 7. The Maratha leaders were not efficient diplomats. Diplomats means an official who represents his or her country in a foreign country. That is called a diplomat. Again listen, an official who represents his or her country in the foreign country, that they are called as diplomats. So the Marathas, they were not efficient diplomats. They could not seek cooperation of Indian rulers against the British. So they were not able to take the help from the Indian rulers for fighting against the Britishers. Means they were not able to express themselves among the Indian rulers. The British forces were disciplined and well organized. They always did their work in a planned manner. So one of the major defeat of the Marathas and the rise in the power of the Britishers, that the British, whatever they do with a well planned manner and in a disciplined and well organized manner. Now we will study Punjab and Sindh annexed. Here it is not Singh, here it is Sindh. Sindh, D is there. Sindh. Sindh, it is in Pakistan. So now the Britishers, they also annexed Punjab and Sindh. The Britishers, they tried to control the Afghanistan, but there was a war between which resulted in a war between the Anglo-Afghan, which was occurred between in the year 1838 to 1842. The Afghans, they were very powerful, and the British was not able to have put a direct control over the Afghanistan. So afterwards, what happened? They annexed Sindh in Pakistan in the year 1843, and they also targeted towards Punjab, but they were not able to have a direct control on the Afghanistan. After annexing Punjab, the Britishers, they started interfering in the affairs of Punjab. After the death of Ranjit Singh in 1835 AD, and this led to again a war between the Anglo-Sikh wars. In these wars, the Sikhs were defeated, and the British under Lord Dalhousie, who was a Governor General at that time, annexed Punjab in 1849. Now we will study Lower Burma. Students, the new name of Burma is Myanmar, and it is in the northeast side of India. The Lower Burma, means the coastal Myanmar, was annexed by the British in the year 1852. As a result, the British established their control over the eastern coast of the Bay of Bengal. So when they annexed this Lower Burma, they were able to have put a control on the Bay of Bengal also. So you will see half of the India, yes, it was ruling by the Britishers. Britishers, they have gained control on most parts of India. Now we will study about Dalhousie's expansionist policies. The rapid expansion of British territories in India around the mid-18th century was only possible due to Lord Dalhousie's policies. Means some policies were there which were introduced by Lord Dalhousie, and through those policies the Britishers were able to annex more and more states of India. One of the policy is Doctrine of Lapse, which was introduced by Lord Dalhousie, according to which a dependent state would pass into British hands if the ruler died without a natural heir. Contrary to age-old Hindu and Islamic traditions, it denied adopted children the right to inherit the throne. So, according to what is this policy of Doctrine of Lapse, that suppose a king died, and if a king is having a natural heir, means if a son is there of that king, then that his son will become the new ruler of that state. And if suppose the king is not having his own son, then that empire or that place will be given to the Britishers. Britishers will annex those states which is not having a natural heir. Yes, again I am speaking in this Doctrine of Lapse. What is there, that if a king is there and he is having his own son, then he can sit on the throne after the death of the king. But if the king is not having any son, then that state would be annexed by the Britishers, because there was no tradition of adopting the child. It was against. So that is why, because of this policy, many of the states, they were annexed by the Britishers. Like for example, Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, Jhansi, these were all annexed under this policy. Now students, exercises. Take write the correct answer. The English East India Company set up their first factory in Surat. The correct answer is Surat. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb died in which year? 1707. Who asked the company to remove all its fortifications in Calcutta? The correct answer is Sirajud-Dowla. The Battle of Plassey was fought between the company and Sirajud-Dowla. Allahabad Treaty was signed between Nawab Shujaud-Dowla and Lord Clive. Now true false. Mir Qasim was an efficient Nawab of Chennai. Answer is false. Hyder Ali was a king of Mysore in 1761. True. The Battle of Buxar was fought in 1765. False. The company made Clive as an ordinary servant. True. The Marathas gained their prestige in the Third Battle of Panipat 1761. False. Now we will do fill in the blanks. The Third Anglo-Maratha War was fought in 1817. The Dash organization of the Marathas was very weak. Military organization. The Marathas adopted Dash tactics of warfare, that is guerrilla tactics. Anglo-Afghan wars were occurred between Dash and 1842, between 1838 to 1842. Dash applied the doctrine of lapse, Lord Dalhousie. So 1817, military, guerrilla, 1838 and Lord Dalhousie. So students, today we have finished this chapter, and now the last chapter is left, chapter number 20, the Indian Constitution, that we are going to start from the next tutorial. Till then, read the chapters and meet you in the next tutorial. Have a good day.